Hey everybody, it's MommaOG. I am back with another reaction. Tonight I have a donation request from Heidi. Heidi, I know this has been a long time coming. I had messaged you fairly soon after you requested this, saying that some of the stuff that you requested is a little bit more documentary oriented, and two of them definitely are. But one of them is the full performance of Aurora live on KEXP from February. And since then, I did a donation request of her performance from that same show of Starvation, which is a song I had not heard until that point. I didn't even realize that it was a part of this full performance that you originally requested that I do. I know I had told you that I was going to save yours for probably a live stream, and the two that are more documentary oriented, I am definitely going to do that. But I'm going to go ahead and listen to the full performance as you requested, live on KEXP. And this is A Soul with No King, Invisible Wounds, When the Dark Dresses Lightly, and Starvation. Since I did Starvation, I think it was about end of June, I've had a lot of people saying that I need to watch A Soul with No King, and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to do that one. And then I was going over my donations list, and I saw yours from back in March, and I have not gone live yet, so I figured I'd go ahead and do this now. So tonight, I'm going to go ahead and listen to this performance, just the first 3 songs, because I've already done Starvation. It's the last song on the set list. I'll go ahead and leave a link for that reaction in the description in case anybody who watches this hasn't seen it and wonders, what the hell, she didn't do Starvation. That's why I've already done it prior. I am more than ready for this, and Heidi, I'm so sorry it took so long. I've got my earbuds in. Let's go ahead and get started.
You're listening to KEXP. You can find us at 90.3 FM in Seattle, 92.7 FM in the Bay Area, streaming worldwide at kexp.org, and also on the KEXP mobile apps. Thank you so much to our wonderful listeners who support KEXP. Your financial gifts make all of these wonderful sessions possible. You can learn more about us and make a gift anytime at kexp.org. I'm Cheryl Waters down here in the KEXP studios, so excited to be here with an artist we have loved for many, many years, and I know beloved by all of you as well. It's Aurora, live in the KEXP studios. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's so wonderful to have you. It's always so great to see you, and a new album. We're so excited to hear songs from that. You ready?
Thank you. Yeah, we are ready as you can be.
It's Aurora live on KEXP.
This might be one of my favorite songs of hers. Top 3. Of course, I've heard the live vivo of this already, but I haven't seen this performance of it. This sounds a little more like the studio version, which I've heard in the car. It's on my playlist.
But if this is what you want, why speak of right and wrong? You still going for the kill.
I'm so sorry. I've had like full chills like 3 times already. That yell was such a profound moment for me when I first saw the Vivo performance. And right before all that, I was concentrating so much on how her inflections sounded kind of Middle Eastern and such, but that yell that she did in that performance just hit me. Some of it sounds a little bit like the studio version. I've got that on my Spotify playlist and I've heard it several times. And it's a little bit different from the Vivo that I first watched, but this is even different from both of those. And then the girls backing her up, that's kind of not something that I've heard or seen. So anyway, I just had other stuff like the chills I was getting and paying attention to a lot of other stuff. And I just want to see that yell again.
Still going for the kill. You speak of the devil like he's not your friend. When the world starts to burn, you give your heart to him.
This part's a little different too. It's amazing.
Nothing will ever change again. No shame, call out my name when you need me.
That bass line.
Nothing will ever change, no guilt, no shame. Call out my name when you need me again. If you know who I am, why won't you call my name? You know who I am, then why won't you call my name? You know who I am, why won't you call my name? You know who I am, why won't you call my name?
You're listening to Aurora live on KEXP, songs from the new album, What Happened to the Heart.
I got full body chills probably 6 or 7 times during that whole song. It started immediately. The other thing I'm noticing different about that versus the Vivo is the drums. Of course, there's a full-on drum kit being used in this version. And I believe the studio version also has full drums. Don't quote me on that, but it also sounds slightly different than the Vivo. This was a kind of a beautiful mixture of both of that. And of course, when she went over to play the piano, that caught my attention in the original performance that I watched, the Vivo one. And I noticed it was a little bit different there, but just as beautiful. Okay, so next is Invisible Wounds. I have heard this song, 2 versions of it. One was the NRK live, and then one was from her live DC show last year. where she talked quite a bit before it. I'm excited for this. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
This song, oh, I'm playing piano on this song. I forgot. This song is called Invisible Wounds. I squeeze into a small hole through the eyes of needles to stitch you up again, even though I know so well I can't fix anything. I look for blood to shed, mistaking every vein for thread. I'm spreading out too thin as I'm lying in my bed, barely existing. And I need you, and I need you to understand, to understand. Da, 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 da. Sometimes I see light, and I fear it's only fantasy. Oh, wouldn't it be tragic if there is no light in me, not any magic? And I need you to forgive me if you can. If you can, da 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 da. I know the best I can. It isn't always good enough. It hurts to know I hurt you, like I know it hurts for you to know you've hurt me. And now my blood is yours, and life is slowly losing touch. How do we learn to tend to these invisible wounds our homes gave us? I can't heal you, and you can't heal me, even if we wanted to. And now I wanted to, and I need you to stop needing me like I've needed you. We both need to tend to the invisibles. Da, 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 da. Na
has a like a reverb on it. For sure. Amazing. Remember it being a little bit different, but I can't quite put my finger on how at the moment. But this had the two girls backing her up and him backing her up. And then I noticed one of the girls had two mics. And I think the one that was in the stand had more of like a reverb effect on it. Because when she'd move over to that, I could hear the difference between the two mics, her voice in the two mics. That was amazing. It's just like I could sit here and watch her all day, all night. I almost felt like I wanted to just cry sporadically. I mean, randomly. It was just a feeling that came over me. And this is the first video I'm recording tonight. So, of course, I'm sitting there thinking, don't do it. Don't do it. It's too soon. It's too soon. You still have a lot more to do tonight. Okay, so next, When the Dark Dresses Lightly. I reacted to this Amazon version of this song back in February. Immediately was taken by this one as well. It'll be interesting to see what she does with it this time. Let's go ahead and get started.
That is breathtaking. You're listening to Aurora live on KEXP, the beautiful new album, What Happened to the Heart.
Let me just rewind that.
The heart.
Did she like, I don't know, I'm always watching her physically. It feels like she was kind of physically, you know how she does at the end of a live performance, she kind of comes out of it a little bit. It feels like maybe she was doing just something physically to kind of get her in the right frame of mind. I don't know. Let's look. Right here. And then she's getting her jacket. Even that face she just made.
As I pour out my story, drink me off. There is wine in every word. Here's to us now, my dear, going strong now. And the dark dresses lightly, razor sharp, as she cuts right through my soul. Here's to us now, my dear, it took too long. Guess I shouldn't have kept the knife in my heart for so long. Guess I shouldn't have held back when I needed you to know. Guess I shouldn't have kept the knife in my heart for so long. Guess I shouldn't have held back when I needed you to know. Ooh, oh, I just want to cry. Ooh, with you tonight.
The bass in this is amazing.
As I dance with my sorrow, make amends. There's so much you still don't know. Here's to us now, my dear, we're going deep now. All this fear is contagious.
That one almost made me cry too.
That is a
This is just weird. I'm really fighting this. That song is badass. That has some like strong, like, I don't want to say trance elements, but electronica, but that bass is just it's so funny. You know, I've heard that song several times since I reacted to it. And when I play it from my phone, from my Spotify through the car radio, you know, it just doesn't have, I mean, it does. It's an amazing song no matter how I hear it. But when you've got a good pair of headphones or earbuds in, that song just makes me like want to run a marathon or go dancing or just, I don't know, just be, I don't know. It gives me a feeling of power. Empowerment, maybe? That was incredible. So next it's Starvation. There's a couple of minutes in between. So I might just go ahead and include Starvation. We'll listen to it again. What the hell? Let's do it. Why not? I'm still going to leave the link to my original first time reaction to this performance down below if you want to see how I reacted to it without ever having heard it.
KEXP. Oh, I don't know what's happening to my heart right now.
Same. She is so funny. Yeah, this one caught me too. I remember watching her physically here.
I miss the touch of human hands on my skin. Miss the rush of beauty coming from within. Do I need to be torn just to see who will care? I sleep on the floor, dreaming my life away. Why do we have to die for us to see the light?
That guitar sound, that was amazing.
Why do we touch the light when we long to feel alive? And we hunger for love. My soul is starving. Come on over, take a bite of the last apple here on earth. Will the virtue mind become stronger than mine? And when my ego dies, will I stay here forever? When the wave crashes down, will my life be better? Why do we have to die for us to see the light? And we hunger for love. And my soul is starving. Why do we touch the light when we long to feel alive? And we hunger for love. Make me, break me, chasing the enemy, got a G with the devil, but I got the stamina higher than anything I've ever seen. I've been right now, everything's empty. Starving, craving, chasing the remedy, I got juice. Everything's
He's got a separate snare over here. It might be tuned differently, maybe. Just that popped out at me just now.
empty. Starving, craving, chasing the remedy, I got juice to the torture. No one deserves to be alone. Except me, chasing the enemy, and my soul is hurting. I got the stamina.
So amazing.
Yes.
I'm speechless. You've got me speechless. Aurora live on KEXP. As always, every time I see you live, I'm left not one.
There's 13 more minutes of this. What's going on with that? When I first reacted to this performance a few weeks back, I just remember how I had the overwhelming urge to just get up and dance like she did. She just ran around and just didn't seem like she gave a crap. You know, if anybody was watching, she just kind of, you know, and I get that urge quite a bit where I just want to stop what I'm doing and just move. Even hearing it and watching it again, felt the same exact thing. And I believe somebody left a comment, and I had mentioned that, you know, I'm 50 something years old. I don't go out dancing anymore to clubs and such. Back in my day, that was my thing, just expressing myself out on the dance floor that way. I just don't dance like that anymore. And somebody was like, why not? You need to do that. You know, every now and again, I play music for my birds during their waking hours. Every now and then I'll turn that up and we'll all dance. We'll have like a little dance party together because my birds love to dance. Yeah, there's times when I maybe I should just, you know, I just want to get a little bit more crazy still. I mean, I know I still have it in me. I just haven't done it for a long time. Mike doesn't dance. Every now and again when we're hanging out on the weekends listening to music, I'll just want to get up and just start moving, and I don't, just because I don't want to feel embarrassed. He'll probably look at me like, what are you having a seizure? I've never danced in, well, when he used to go out gigging, when he would have gigs and stuff, every now and again I would get out with some friends while they were playing. That's not the kind of dancing I'm talking about. So okay, let's see what else is in store. There's 13 minutes left of this. Does she do another song that's not in the set list, or is she just having an interview here? Okay, that's fine with me. Let's finish this out.
Wanting it to end. Thank you so much.
Thank
That is
you.
incredible.
Thank you, darling.
I also feel like going to the club right now.
Yes, right? You want to go after?
Yes, let's do it. Even though it's early. That'd be fun, actually.
It
A
would be
midday
super
dance
fun,
party.
wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, thanks for bringing the party to the midday here on KEXP.
Yes,
You
of
all
course.
sound fantastic. Aurora, in your new album, What Happened to the Heart, you dive deep into the symbolism of the heart. And I'd love it if you could talk about a little bit what the album title means to you and the exploration of the heart's deeper meaning that was revealed to you as an artist and a person.
Well, the album is a
question.
very important question to me. What happened to the heart? Because that is a question I find myself wondering quite a lot. I was just looking at the world, I think, and I feel like we've been given so many opportunities through like science and internet and just through common knowledge to really glow as a humanity and really be good to each other. And I feel like we are given opportunities again and again to really make a better world for ourselves and for others. And again and
We
again,
don't.
I feel like we're not grabbing those chances because we use the tools so often for bad things. And I was thinking about, you know, what on earth happened. And I read this letter
Goodness.
written by indigenous activists and leaders all around the world from 2022 called We Are the Earth. And they kind of pleaded politicians, especially of the Western world, to act more with the heart and less with the mind, because the way we are living now isn't good to our earth, our children, our women. You know, it's a very unbalanced thing. And I guess I just really agreed with this letter, what happened to the heart. And also, we used to think of the heart as like such a beautiful, symbolic thing, like spiritual interconnectedness, the whole harbor of all of that. And then now we don't really value its abilities anymore because we like power and brutality and logic more. So all of that kind of is the album.
I just did a reaction to Rush, Cygnus, Book 2, Hemispheres, and it talked about that exact thing. In the first book, which was a separate reaction, he goes into a comment, and that's where the song ends. And then the next part 2 of the song picks up the story. You don't quite know what happens to him for the first few minutes of the song, but it explains that he died, basically, and then he went to Olympus, and there were 2 gods there. It was Apollo and Dionysus. Apollo was all about logic. Dionysus was about the heart and love. She's just talking about this very thing. It's exactly the same story. You know, we had all these opportunities to better our lives as a species, and how we just have used the tools that we've been given and the tools we've created for more nefarious things, like she said. So it's just funny how Rush is, you know, a prog rock band from the 70s and 80s, and here's the same exact message that she's talking about. I don't know, it makes me wonder if she's ever heard that song and if she would like it. I think she'd be open to listening to it. Just, I don't even know her, but she seems kind of so open-minded that she would give it a chance. I think it would be right up her alley, lyrically anyway. Okay, sorry. But she mentions the heart and logic specifically, so it just kind of made me think of that.
Value its abilities anymore, because we like power and brutality and logic more. So all of that kind of is the album.
I love how intellectual and cerebral you get about things that you're interested in. I mean, you really dug deep and looked into the heart from, you know, way back, and how it was viewed originally before we even viewed it, you know, as something that was pumping blood through our body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought it was so interesting, because it's like people, we know in our soul so much, even as a child. We know almost more about how to behave, and then we forget that behavior, and when we're adults, in a way, we are less intelligent, especially spiritually and emotionally.
I'm sorry, I'm probably going to pause it a few times while she's talking, but what she just said there is children are more natural, and it's only as they are indoctrinated and taught certain things, and you know, and we don't mean to teach our children these things. This is what our parents taught us. There's a lot of misinformation and expectations, and there's just a lot of inadvertent fear that is instilled in us as we grow as children into adults. And we all do it. It's just something that I've kind of, in retrospect, have realized about the human species. We get so overprotective of our kids, we kind of take away their innocence to a degree. And we have to protect them. Like, we have to share our knowledge, what our parents taught us, what our experiences taught us growing up. But she was absolutely correct. And, you know, children know more. They intuitively, I even think, are more free. They'll tell you straight up. And then you'll notice when they hit like 3, 4, 5, that's when they start to lie. You know, that's kind of when I don't know, I don't want to call it indoctrination. It's exactly what it is, but it's not something we do to our kids out of anything but love, because that's just the way humans do things. But it does, it kind of takes their innocence away as they get older. And kids under 3, 4 years old don't really lie a whole lot. They'll be completely honest, you know, unless they've learned it early on from things around them. I don't know. Let me shut up. Talking way too much. But she's absolutely hit the nail on the head. So
more about how to behave, and then we forget that behavior, and when we're adults, in a way, we are less intelligent, especially spiritually and emotionally, almost, than we are when we are children. Because at least then we dare to feel and just be, and we know that certain things aren't necessarily a talent, but just behavior, like music should just be a behavior, not necessarily a talent. And I think it's the same with, like, a long time ago, we really thought about the heart as like the most important organ, even before we knew its abilities or its exact location. we seem to know that somewhere in here lies the soul, and this is important. And then the more knowledge we had from the heart, I think it was the ancient Greek philosophers that started kind of pinning it down, and together with Da Vinci, they kind of learned about the heart and reduced its magicalness to just a pump of the blood. And that's so sad, because it's so much more, I think.
Yeah, it's at the core. Well, along with reflecting on what's going on in the world, you've also said this album is deeply personal, and you've described the emotional journey as one of breaking apart before finding truth. Can you talk about looking inward on this album?
Yes, it's a thing I don't do that often. Sorry, my nose is really sniffly. But yes, it's a thing I don't often do when I write my albums, because there's so much to hold on to out there in the world, and I've always had a huge thirst to kind of write about other people and the world, because there's so much to say. But then this time I found myself in a very special place, and I knew, like a bad special place, not like a wonderful special place. And then I was thinking, it's going to be heard in the album anyways, so I might as well wear it proudly, my shadows, and wear it loudly, so people who feel the same can find an even more safe haven with me, which is my goal always when I write music. So it feels really refreshing, actually, and being vulnerable feels like you're even more prone to be truly connected to even strangers. So it's been absolutely delightful.
Making weird noises.
It was fucking shit. Sorry, it was not like you're even more prone, and being vulnerable feels like you're even more prone to be truly connected to even strangers. So it's been...
Okay, so overall, my Aurora journey and how connected I feel with her as a human, I don't often think of her as a human having gone through trauma and dark times, but hearing her talk a little bit about her shadows, it just kind of reminds me that people like her, and a lot of artists who have been through a whole hell of a lot in life, express themselves through their music, and it helps those of us who don't have that form of expression to connect and to relate to each other. But overall, in general, when I think of her, I don't think of her as somebody who's been troubled, because just of her outlook, her attitude, she sings about that stuff, and she's talking about that. She's being vulnerable. And she's reminding me, I'm glad that I'm hearing it, because she's reminding me that she's human too. And I don't think without hard times and trauma that there would be this much depth to her. It's just how she processes it and expresses it. But she also spoke just now about being vulnerable and how it can help you connect with even strangers. And I can't tell you how much that happens to me on this channel through comments. I'm sitting here behind the camera. My number one goal in reacting to music is authentic and genuine. Just be myself, not put on an act. I don't care about, if I behave this way, I'll get more views. The people that need to see me or find me or watch my reactions will find me eventually. But a lot of this stuff makes me emotional and triggers personal experiences and even good, memories and stuff that I talk about. I verbalize that stuff to the world. And in the moment, it makes me very nervous to do that. In general, all of us do that. We kind of suppress our emotions when it comes to the world in general. And this has just been a very strange experience doing this channel and trying to remain true to myself, genuine in my reactions, and express my emotions as well. It's surprised me how many people have reached out and said something to the effect of, this is what caught me about you, is that you are genuine and that you are not afraid to be vulnerable, which is not exactly true. I do second guess myself every time I cry to Aurora. I'm like, oh, here I go again. People are going to start to get sick of this. But then I'm just like, this is what I feel and I've got to express it. So that caught my attention, what she just said. And once again, I'm talking way too much. It's just another thing she does is brings out connection to her, and then I express my emotions, and it helps other people connect to me and me connect to them in return. It's just been a bonus that I did not expect. Okay, let's try to finish this out. I haven't gotten very far.
More prone to be truly connected. So it feels really refreshing, actually, and being vulnerable
Yes.
feels like you're even more prone to be truly connected to even strangers. So it's been absolutely delightful. It was fucking shit. Sorry, it was forking not so good for a while, but then it turned out to be really wonderful.
Well, you talked about just now people finding a safe haven for you, and you actually made it a mission to write this album in what you called unsafe spaces. Can you share some of the experiences or environments that made you feel most vulnerable and how they shaped the record?
Yes, I wrote most of this album just traveling around the world, because the latest years I've been having it as a goal to kind of go to one place and lock the world out, even though it's the world I'm writing about. But lock the world out and stay in a house or somewhere just alone for a month or 3 and make an album. But this time it didn't feel right, because there's so much happening in the world, and kind of simultaneously as my pain grew unbearable, it was for some reason more easy to see the pain kind of the world is going through as well, you know, because there is so much pain out there that we fail to see because we are too busy being distracted
Blinders.
by all these senseless things. So it was really important for me to be truly connected to like something that is really real and gritty and dark, so I could truly write about the world without being naive. Because I think you have to really touch on to something properly painful sometimes to actually write about it. So yes, I think just all over. I feel unsafe everywhere, and except for Norway.
Well, there is a lightness and a darkness, as you say, in this album, and such a diversity of sound throughout What Happened to the Heart. It gets you dancing, as you just did, and then these quieter, folkier moments. And are there any specific moments in What Happened to the Heart where you found yourself stretching your sound into unexpected areas? Because I know you approach songwriting and recording in just a very playful and experimental fashion.
Yes, I do really like that. It is a very playful thing to me. I'm glad that I know so little, so it's so easy to kind of just grab hold onto anything you find around you. But I think I kind of knew that I wanted the album to start quite light and kind of go into the lands of denial, you know, like a false positive sense of ignoring your issues and the pain and the darkness in a way that is unhealthy, which I kind of wanted the beginning of the album to sound like Feel Alright is a very oblivious song. And then it kind of turns a bit darker, because once you lose touch with your sadness, you also lose touch with all the wonderful things. And then being numb is truly the worst, isn't it? Because it's so anti-human. And then you try to fix that numbness with then going into actually facing what is wrong and what is hurting you, I guess. And then it kind of turns into anger for a little while there. Starvation and My Body Is Not Mine. There's a lot of female rage in this album, which is so nice, because it doesn't necessarily kill. It only burns.
Well, you said that you're hoping that people will find this deeper meaning in the album, and there are some very difficult topics here and some rage, as you say, but it always feels like it's fueled by love.
Always. Because it's too simple, I think, to unite people through... Not that you have to unite people, but that's kind of what you want, isn't it? With anything that you make. But it's too easy to do it with anger and fear and rage, because that happens all the time, especially in politics. We love to make a whole country seem like it's totally split and like the two sides are truly opposites, when it's never the truth at all.
I don't want to talk about this. She's so emotionally intelligent. I might say genius. The last time I mentioned anything about politics in one of my videos, which is not something I will ever choose, make a point to talk about on purpose, unless it's related to music I'm listening to. But last time I did, you know, there's this whole thing going on in the United States for the last decade or more, where it's just becoming so left and right. And if you don't agree with everything on the right, or if you don't agree with everything on the left, everybody from each one of those sides automatically just shuns you and, oh, you're this or you're that. And it's just doing nothing but dividing us. It's been doing that for years. You know, I'm not just talking about the current political climate in the United States. I've been watching this happen for a good 25 years, maybe since the 90s. It's gotten just more divisive. And then the tools that we have that we could have used for incredibly good things as a species have been used just to further divide people. And it's just gradually getting worse. So the last time I talked about this kind of environment that we're living in, and the United States is not the only country going through this. I would say overall in the world, it's happening to everyone in one way or another. And in general, overall, we're just making assumptions about everybody else based on our own beliefs and not giving anybody a chance. So I said I didn't want to talk about this, and I really don't. I never imagined that I would be talking about anything like this from an Aurora video. Anyway, I'm really sorry for pausing it and talking so much. Okay, let's keep going.
We are at one, but it's always the splitting voices that kind of shouts the loudest, it seems. And I think music really has to fuel people with love and unite people with something that is just enjoyable and pure and beautiful, because it's so rare. It happens so rarely now in this world. Sorry, I don't remember what you asked me, but I wanted to say that really.
That was perfect. Well, you've had such a profound impact on your fans who find such deep meaning in the layers of your music. And do you see your role as an artist in any particular way, especially as in this evolving music industry, you can have such deep connection and direct connection with your fans?
Well, it is a very strange thing, because I don't think any human is supposed to be so bless you. I don't think any human is supposed to be so connected to so many. And I hated the point in my career where I truly noticed that it's impossible to, in person now, to recreate and replicate and truly meet just the same in the energy, because at one point my world, my universe turned too big for even me. But then I've learned with time how to kind of truly reach, or at least the best I can, reach out to the now much more warriors and weirdos, as we call ourselves proudly. But yes, it's just about finding a proper way to kind of connect with people, even though we are so many now compared to before. But I truly enjoy it. I think it's why I talk about positivity so much. Or like, I guess I'm quite negative sometimes, but I often talk about that there is hope. And there is so much good and beautiful in people to believe in and to like hold on to. And it's so worth going out of your way to be good to people, because it makes any room so beautiful to be in. And I think that my fans have taught me, because they've shown me that all over the world I can find so many beautiful souls, I guess. So they've helped me fall in love with mankind, which is really good. That's a very good gift to be given.
Well, you definitely radiate compassion and kindness, which is something we need around the world. And thank you for bringing us this wonderful performance here today, all of you sounding amazing. What Happened to the Heart is incredible.
Thank you.
You've got it tuned to KEXP, where the music matters. Aurora live here in the KEXP studios. What Happened to the Heart, the beautiful new album. We're so grateful for this amazing performance today. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll get notification every time a wonderful new video launches. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's Aurora live on KEXP, where the music matters.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.
You know, as if I haven't done enough talking already. I don't think that I've ever encountered an artist like her. And they talked about it at the end, how she has a unique connection with her fans. And I said this in one of my last reactions to her, that she is feels way more accessible than your stereotypical musician, who are just kind of beyond our reach. But she's really not. And she's so good at making you feel that through her music, and even the way she talks, and just the kinds of things that she cares about. Oh my gosh, that was a lot longer me talking than I ever anticipated. Heidi, thank you so much for suggesting this one. It was amazing. Yet another reason to love her so much. That was incredible. And I am so sorry it took me so long to get to this. I'm glad I didn't skip Starvation, because I would have missed that interview at the end. Yeah, that must have been a little disconcerting when I did that Starvation reaction. Glad that I've seen it all now. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for being here to share this with me. I will see you next time. What you doing, Huck?